This is probably the most random live I'm ever going to do. Are we live now? It always does a weird delay. I never know how this thing works, but people might show up, might not. This is totally random, but whatever. I decided I cannot, for the life of me, actually film a video because life, which I will inform you guys of, but I'm going to make some Yule tree decorations with random things I have found as I'm going through all my crap. I also have some paper and some twine. I'm going to make some little paper sigil ornaments to hang on to my little Yule tree that I got going. And figured I'd have a little glass of wine and chat with you. So let's see here. I think I like some of the ones on here better. They've got like there's like random little trees and stuff. There's this one cross one, which is a bit, it's just a tree. Like, I don't know if you guys see that all that well, but it's like, it's just kind of like a tree cross thing, so I don't necessarily like it all that much. There's a little cross on one of these branches too. We don't need that in our lives. Crosses aren't one of my favorite symbols. Oh, woot. Okay, so we're gonna do this one. Oh God, why is there two? We'll do this tree little thing here. That's fine. What else we got? Never-ending trees. Just, what's this one we got? Oh, a cute little love heart on this one. That's fine. We'll do that. A little star. Almost a pentagram anyway. Stormcrow says, this is my first Yule I'm doing. I'm also making connection with Loki thanks to you. Oh, yay! How nice. Hi, Johnny Dragon. Everyone drifting on randomly here. So, if you might notice, my channel got a little bit quiet past couple of weeks where I was kind of posting a lot of videos and a video a week as opposed to the normal 2 that I do. And quite honestly, life just got stupid. And stupid busy mostly. It wasn't anything too crazy. That's cute. We'll do that too. I've been traveling even more because there were celebrations that were planned all within the month of November and December. Even on top of the holidays I was already traveling for, so that's fun. I swear, one of my goals for 2020 is I'm not leaving the city of Portland, or at least the state of Oregon, for the entirety of 2020. Like, if you want to see me, you come see me. I'm not paying for any more plane tickets. And on top of that, I got sick twice. I'm just now getting over my second cold. And on top of that, I think they're still going, it's like dark outside already because that's what winter does. But there's construction really right next to me. It's constant noises. And with the winter and the changing light, there's like no light to film. It's just so many things that I was just like, I can't. I don't feel like filming. I don't want to film. And finally, the last thing I was like, okay, I'm going to sit down. I'm actually going to do a bunch of stuff. And I thought about just like filming this as a video and then putting it up on my channel. And I was like, I don't even have time to edit it. Screw it. We're just going to go live. Is because I am moving. I'm getting a brand new apartment, which I'm very excited about. And the main reason I am moving is because this current apartment is extremely, extremely dark. The main room has 2 windows in it, but just with the trees that block it and everything else, it's just a constant me sitting in darkness. And since I work from home and I have to actually sit at my desk for a good 7 to 8 hours a day, it's just not, I need some sunlight. I like the darkness. I'm a bit of a darkness goblin. It can be fun, but I need some sunlight. So I found a lovely 1-bedroom. I will be moving into it hopefully soon. But with moving comes packing and shifting stuff around, and not always the best for filming. The part of me is like, I could go through all the stuff I'm like purging or whatever else, but then I got sick and I was doing it. I've noticed that I'm definitely the type of person where it's like, when 1 stress piles on, it's fine. It's normal schedule news. 2 stresses piled on, maybe. The minute it's 3 or more, so for me it's been like traveling, being sick, and now moving, I'm out. I've struck out. All I want to do is like go through my life. I sit at my altar and I meditate on it and I light a candle and I've got my twinkle lights up, and like that's the extent of how things are gonna go. So there might be a couple more lives happening just because I don't got time to edit videos, which I guess is more fun for you. Some people really like when they do more lives. Sometimes I get irritated with them because trying to keep up with the comments and everything else, but maybe me just chatting at the screen is cool. Let's see. But personally, please upload this when you're done. It's 1 a.m. where I am, but I can't watch the whole thing. Oh, I always leave my lives up. I think there's only been one that I deleted where a bunch of really weird people somehow found the video and the comment section or the live chat got real weird. And I was like, no, we're just going to delete all this because, How many did I just pull off here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These little ornament things. I used a lot of these when I was making my witch's ladder. It's over a year ago now. It was a while ago. And I picked specific ones. And so I just found these because I was going through all my stuff. And I was like, okay, what do I want to use? What do I not want to use? And I wanted to do a little couple of like random handmade ornaments, but I didn't want to go out and like purchase things. Still technically trying to keep to that depth year till 2020 finally comes around. But so I figured, oh, hey, I can actually use these. This is a good idea. Okay, I think that's enough twine for these. And then we'll cut a couple more pieces for little paper sigils I'm going to make. How's everyone else's holiday season going? I've got like a weird amount of... Part of me is like excited and like all for Yule and like excitement and yay. And part of me feels like all of my like seasonal spirit went out the window when fall left. Like November ended and I was like, what is seasonal happiness? I'm just tired. And I just want to be cozy in my fuzzy blankets in my little studio apartment, and I don't want to do anything else. Like that's all I really want to do. Hi, I was wondering what color for candle magic spell is for freedom. I don't know that specific association. Yes, cat. You know the rule. You meow during filming. Oh, runs away. Oh. You gonna come back? Come here. Yeah. You're being needy. You are. Say hello. And we can't hold you like this for forever. You and your purring. It's not very comfortable for me. We're not doing that. Freedom isn't a spell I've really done much for. Mostly I'll do like abundance, and honestly, when it comes to like color associations, the main colors I use are green, red, black, and white. I really don't stray much out. I just found in all my witchcraft supplies I was going through this gigantic blue pillar candle, and I was like, throat chakra. Like, what can I use blue for? Calming? Do I really need calming? Maybe I need calming. Maybe calming will help me not feel so stressed out. What in the world's happening here? Very okie dokie. Well, but yeah, this holiday season I've definitely been not as into it as I have been previous ones. And it's funny because I definitely felt reinvigorated my first Yule when I was first celebrating it as a pagan thing as opposed to a commercial Christmas, because I've never really done the like Christian Christmas thing. My mom was always very averse to that. I think I've gone to actual church on Christmas like 3 times in my entire life. And most of that was because like we were being nice and doing it with the aunts because there was like a production or a thing going on. And I was like, okay, why not? It's like listening to a play. It's like watching like the Nutcracker or anything else, just a play about Jesus. It's a bit different. But this year I'm definitely not as... I don't know, like I just don't want to bake things. I don't want to do a lot of spells. I've just been very fridge. I've been just doing a lot of kind of more isolating in my little hole, dealing with work, cuddling up. I've been reading a bunch, which is nice. And again, just a lot of sitting at my altar. I haven't even really been pulling tarot, which really surprised me. Like, I just have a big urge to like sit at my altar every night with a cup of tea and like light some candles, and like that's it. Like that's all I want to do is just kind of like zone out. Like I'm not even like attempting to meditate or attempting to contact a deity or do a spell. I just want to like be in my sacred space and literally just be. Like let my entire like, I don't know, just like everything fade away. Which is nice, but also like I could definitely feel like, I don't know if it's just like I've been tired from the amount of everything that's happening this year or what, but oh my goodness. No, thank you. No, thank you at all. Ooh. And plus, I know this time of the year, too, is kind of hard for a lot of people, especially if you're pagan and you're semi in the closet and or just dealing with family who is of a different religion than you. I think in general, if you're crossing spiritualities during a time when both of y'all have a sacred day kind of within it, it gets a bit weird because they're all into their sacred day and you're all into your sacred day, but sacred days, even though they shouldn't clash, they still kind of do. Like, they're still a thing, right? Like, I love my mother, but no matter what, like, she still gives me a little side eye. Excuse me, something like wipe my nose down. I'm still fighting a sickness. Ugh. But every time I call the tree a Yule tree, she still is like, uh-huh. You know, it's like, because she would not consider herself a Christian in any way, shape, or form. But it's the Christmas tree. And my dad bought this brand new nativity. And again, he's not a Christian by anything, but like, we've always had nativities the entirety of me growing up. There's been some really, really old ones that have broken over and over and over again. I think baby Jesus has been like re-glued back together like 7,000 times. So it's like, it's not like we're like really focused on that or anything, but they bought a brand new huge ass one from Costco not too long ago. And they were like, look. I was like, oh, how good for you. And they're like, you're not excited about it. I was like, no, that's not. It's not a thing I want to be excited about. Yes, boo-boo. You have food, you have water. You've been fed your dinner. I don't know what your issue is. What? Mommy's alive. Can I help you? No. Oh. All right, that's the first one. I think I'll just bless these all over my candles out, and then I'll just put them on my little tree on my altar. I've got like one of those like fake little teeny tiny trees with like a bunch of lights on it, and like I've got no way to plug it in, but it's there. It's on my altar. So I'll just bless these all over some like smoke out of my cauldron or something. Then I'll put them all on the tree, and then again sit in front of it and zone out, because that's what I feel like doing. I don't know, there used to be like a bunch of old Christmas, like old-timey Christmas movies I'd love to watch, and I just don't feel the need to. I watched like part of It's a Wonderful Life this year, and like, I'm done. I'm out. Like, I don't need any more Christmas movies. I don't want to watch The Christmas Story. I don't want to watch Home Alone. I don't want to like, I don't want to watch The Grinch. I got no desire for any of these. I don't know why. That's just me. I've been like really wanting to rewatch random, like, I just watched Killing Eve. Like, I binged all of season 1 of that. Or I watched the entirety of Miss Maisel. But when it comes to Christmas stuff, again, I'm just totally out. Even of my favorites, like old classics that used to really get me. I'm like, nope. I have no interest. Let's see, what else we got? Christmas just doesn't make sense in Australia. Everything's burning and dying. The shops are full of snowflake decorations. Yeah, see, that would bother me too. I always had a really hard time. I thought surely I would be way more into the spirit because it's cold here in Portland. Like, it's not snowing yet, but I think we're possibly going to get snow at the end of this week. Maybe next week. Snow is a possibility. But it's actually cold here, so I thought, and I loved it in the fall time. I was all about it. And I love the chill right now. Like, it actually feels like winter here, which is great. I feel that, like, I guess I kind of feel the urge to, like, oh, I want more warmer coffee, or I want hot chocolate or something. I don't know. I want warmer foods. Like, I just want hot foods. I don't want to eat cold things, but I thought it would bring a lot more spirit, like Christmas spirit with me. Or holiday spirit, I guess, because it's Yule spirit. But it's still like, what, we got like 4 days till Yule, and I'm like, oh, I guess I should put decorations on my Yule tree. I guess I should do that. Which is very, very funny to me, because I used to be so much like the 1st of December. It is now winter time. You know, bringing all the candles, all the green, all the everything, all the evergreen stuff. Get it all in here. The last 2 years, that's how I was. But this one, I'm not feeling it. I'm not into the spirit. Yeah, it's a little bit of the rebirth, I guess, kind of thing. Like, you know, the restart of the wheel of the year. It kind of happens on Samhain, kind of happens on Yule. What do you guys? Do you guys play with that at all? I kind of always feel like it happens the end of the year is Samhain, and there's like this weird lull period, and then it starts again on Yule. Is that just me, or do I actually have something going on with that? Oh, my sister's on. Yes, I see you, Sid. Show. So yeah, this one's a moon and a star. That's pretty cute. See? You can find some little pagan-esque decorations, even when the rest of them have crosses on them. This is fine. Let's see what else we have. Dear Sam, happy Yule, young lady. Oh, happy Yule to you as well. Got confused by the cat meowing. Yeah, she's very loud. She's now eating her dinner like she should. She's not just begging for treats because she doesn't want to eat the actual food I gave her. You know, it's better for her. Let's see. Shadowcrow says, I keep seeing Loki, but when I walk over to his alt, the word Odin popped in my head. Any ideas? Loki's a tricky bastard, so I really wish I could give you something with that, but I can't. It could be him playing tricks on you. It could be Odin trying to get your attention. It could be a multitude of things. Every time I think I kind of understand the lesson that Loki's trying to teach me, it's although so surprisingly, I think it's just this. It's always the same lesson over and over again. Try to have more fun with life. It should all be fun. It should all be a game. If it's too hard or if it's not fun, why are you doing it? You know, because sometimes we always have to do parts. I think we all get through that moment in life, right? Where like life is hard. Life is a struggle. You don't always get to do everything you want to do off the cuff all the time. Like, right? Like we all know this. We all go through spurts of times where we're like, I feel like I haven't done anything for myself in a long time. But you don't want the entirety of your life to be that. You want your life to be like, no, I'm doing things for me. I do it because it makes me happy, because this is where I want my life to go. It doesn't have to be all about what is, quote unquote, the thing I should be doing. What is the right thing by other people's standards, right? Sometimes you just need to indulge for yourself or do it just for fun's sake, like have a good time. I think that's what I'm kind of just leaning into at the end of this year. You know, still trying to keep up with like keeping my apartment clean, making sure I'm doing the things like looking for a new place, going through all the things I don't need, getting rid of like old clothes that are like really worn down that need to be like chopped up into rags or just flat out thrown away, or donating the ones I'm not going to use anymore. I just went through a bunch of witchcraft supplies and I was like, all of these are like weird oils or like things that I possibly have expired. I got rid of a bunch of those, or random bags I just didn't need, recycled all those. You know, you do the things you need to, but also like today I felt like popping on, having my glass of wine and making little Yule ornaments from a tree. That's all I want to do. Also, all my deities have been extremely silenced recently, which is, I think, normal. They come in, they come out. They do stuff like that all the time. But when they're quieter, I definitely don't feel the need to journal as much, or definitely don't feel the need to, I don't know, life seems to be in a very eased mode at the moment, which is interesting, because my tarot card that I pulled for this month, when I did my year ahead reading spread, was, what was it? Six of Swords? With the Four of Cups, I think, is my clarification card. I think that's what it was, which definitely had me on edge. It was kind of like a weird weariness, a passage sense, you know, a little bit of like foreboding. Am I leaving something good? Is it a big transition period? I don't really know what the hell's happening, but hey. So now we're tying this one. But that Four of Cups, whenever the Four of Cups come up, I'm always like, God damn it, what am I not paying attention to? What am I missing? What am I not seeing? Is it about looking for a new apartment? Is it about a romantic dalliance? Is it about something to do with my spirituality? What's it about? And so far, like, I feel like I've given myself the patience to be open to like what it can mean, but also could just be like, maybe I am keeping my eyes open enough and I'm seeing all the options and I'm picking the one that's best for me. Seems to work out well. I think just kind of seem to be like, kind of lining up into place. There's the subtle things that are frustrating. I think romance has always been a bit of a frustration for me. Maybe a shadow I'll be exploring more in 2020, but boom. So that's all of these lovelies. That's about 6 there. Now I'm just going to get a little bit of paper, cut out some little circles, and then draw little sigils on them. which I don't, some people have very like strategic way they do sigils, and like, this is how you do a sigil. It's not done this way. I do what I want. And my sigils are always kind of like, they start in like a weird mazy-ish pattern, and then it's just done intuitively. Like, I really don't have any particular rhyme or reason or way that I do them. Sometimes I start with like letters, sometimes I start with just random shapes, sometimes I'm like trying to spell a word, but like over, I don't know what I'm doing. Sometimes I add numbers and other random symbols added in. It's all whatever I am feeling. I think I did this. Said if you're still on, did we do this last year or the year before? I made my whole family all make little sigil ornaments all together, and we all put them on the tree for blessings into the year. And we did it on actual Yule too, which is fun. We also made a Yule log cake all together as a family, which is fun. But let's see. Again, that just didn't kind of happen. I think partially it's just the amount of travel I have done this year. I have realized I am way more of a homebody than I ever thought I was. Having to go around for a bunch of different weddings or other events has made me realize how much that I'm like, oh, I just want to stay in my house and I don't want to go nowhere. Like, I have no problem exploring restaurants or, you know, spending the night at a friend's house or a lovely gentleman's house for a night. But, like, I want to know in the next, like, day or two that I'm going home. Tired of, like, living out of a backpack or a suitcase or always worried about making the flight or, you know, having to do all this work ahead of time so I can not be distracted while I'm doing other things for other people. It's very, very, very draining. I would rather just stay at home and be a total hermit with myself. Which is interesting because I'm feeling that urge, but a hermit card has not come up for me for a very long time. I think the last time I saw a hermit card in any reading that I have done for myself is before I moved, I think. I think right before I moved, there was a bit of a hermit card, which makes sense. I needed to kind of like hermit into myself, prepare for all the stress that was coming with my major move to Portland. But now I'm definitely feeling that hermit energy, but like that hasn't come up in a reading at all. If anything, it's almost asking me to always see beyond certain things, look beyond what I'm thinking. Maybe branch out a little bit more. And I'm just like, I don't know if I have the energy, universe. I hope that's not what you're expecting me to do. Or maybe there's a middle ground. I'm just not seeing that. Fourth cup hovering in the cloud hand next to me while I'm focusing on the 3 in front of me. There we go. When you've already packed your other scissors, so kitchen scissors is all you got. I've been like randomly going through all my stuff and like seeing what will fit in a random box that I could like literally carry over to my new place because it's not that far from where I am now. It's just bigger with more windows. And I'll do a whole new mini apartment tour of that if y'all are so interested. I did a very short one when I moved into this place. And it worked well. I thought, although I tried some new editing techniques, and there were some things where I was like, why does that look like the apartment's underwater? I don't know why I did that effect. It's always fun when you're like, when I see YouTubers try new editing techniques and it goes a little bit wrong. I'm always like, what did you do? Because now I'm going to do the same thing. And I don't want it to do that effect. When I see it in my own videos, I'm like, oh, I know exactly what I did there. That was a mess. Oops. But I would love to do some more, I don't know, fun-themed videos, which are more like day-in-the-life type of deal stuff, but also then mix in with more like, I guess, quote-unquote, theatrical stuff, like more B-roll of me doing a spell or, you know, maybe doing a video all about where I do a spell that I don't know if it's going to work or not, and then, like, keep you guys up to date as it goes, kind of like as it goes live, you know what I mean? Like, do it, film it, put it up there, and then do, like, an update video a week or two later and say, okay, so did this work? Did it not? Because sometimes that's the fun part, right? Is being like, oh, cool, there's witchcraft involves doing a little thing and just spinning a bit of magic and seeing what actually comes up with it. But many a time, things go wrong, they go awry. And sometimes I hold off on spells or journals or things like that when I do videos. So I'm like, oh no, I want to make sure that it works, that it was successful before I film anything for you guys, right? So I don't feel like it's like a flop or a waste of a video. But sometimes I think maybe showing the failure aspect of it or just showing the whole process might be just as interesting. Especially for like, I don't know, newer witches and stuff, because that was one thing where I always saw other witches posting videos or, you know, spells or satchels or different mixtures or, you know, candle spell, what have you, different things of their magic. And it was always like, oh, this always is a foolproof way. It's foolproof candle spell, foolproof journaling spell, foolproof this spell. Like it's always worked for them. And I'm like, cool. And then I would try it myself and sometimes it works, sometimes it didn't. I was like, well, apparently I'm the one that's fucking up here because you guys say it's foolproof. Not foolproof for Sam. And sometimes I like kind of go off the cuff with my spells too, and I don't know if it's gonna work or not, right? Ugh. Let's see, what are some people saying in the comments? That's the whole point of going live. Sorry if I missed this, but what are your plans for Yule? Currently, my plans for Yule is I get the keys to my new apartment on Yule, which will be fun. So I kind of feel like I almost want to like spend the day in the empty space, which is weird because I have the opportunity to really actually take my time a bit with moving in and not having it be a big hoopla of having it to be in like a day. Like I get a little bit of time to really move in and get all my stuff done. And so I'm going to take the time and do it kind of slowly and not try to rush everything. This hole is nowhere near big enough, is it? Well, whoops. So I think what I'm actually going to do is, because normally I do like little ornaments like this, is like blessings. I might do a little bit of like, I don't know, the cheerful spirit thing that kind of like came over from like Christmas, the spirit of Christmas and cheerfulness. I'm kind of like, you know, I liked passing that on. I like the idea of Yule being about renewal and the new part of the year and light coming back, the sun coming back to calling back the sun, calling back the hope in a sense, you know, looking forward and thinking of all the new things we really want to bring to ourselves during that time. So since the new space is kind of like my kickoff to my 2020 and hopefully longer than that, like I'm kind of of the mind. I'm like, I've been moving at least apartments, if not cities, every single year for the last 6-7 years of my life. Like I have not stayed in a single residence for longer than a year for the last 6 years. Is it more than 7 now? No, I think it's 6 still. But and I would really like to just not have that be the case. Okay, you know what? That's just a tangled mess and we're gonna go with it. We are just not gonna fuss. We're not gonna fuss. Will it tie into a knot? And that's all we needed to do. Definitely didn't poke that hole big enough, but you work with what you got. Those are kind of my Yule plans. It's kind of to go into the space. First things first, probably with just some witchcraft tools. Maybe a tarot deck, a little bit of cleansing stuff here or there. Kind of greet the new space and then kind of put my intention of what I kind of want for my life into my new apartment. It's kind of my goal. And other than that, I really don't have any big Yule plans. Maybe again, like sit at my altar, do some meditations with a little bit of gratitude and happiness to the deities, and that's about it. Nothing too fancy. I think Sabbath's gonna be like that, right? Because my Samhain Sabbath was very like, there's this ritual and a walk through the woods and greeting the deities and a whole artistic thing that went along with it too. There was just a lot of the different stuff that came around with my Samhain plans, and I was like, okay, well, that's nice and all. But sometimes immediately after a Sabbath like that, you're just like, you know what? The next one needs to be a little more chill, a little more calm, and not too over the top. What else we got? Oh dear, this is one thing I hate about lives. These things move too much. Some people comment and da-da-da-da. Hi Terry. Let's see what else we got here. Some people staying up a little later for my live. How nice of y'all. This is my first Yule and I'm pretty excited. How are you doing tonight, Sam? I'm good. I'm recovering sickness. And just like, can you hear that? Can you guys hear that random weird noise in the background, which is drilling that they're still doing next door? It is 5:30 p.m. It is dark outside and they are drilling or doing something weird next door. I cannot wait to get away from this construction. I literally, since I moved in here in February, it has been nonstop construction to the place next door to me. And I would just love to even just hear normal apartment noises and not have to deal with random construction noises all the freaking time right outside my very thin windows and walls. For one of the reasons I haven't been able to film in a while either, because I'm just like, it's one thing to like have the fridge randomly go off or to have the heater randomly go off. You know, I can kind of control those a little bit. I could unplug them if I was really feeling the need with some of my filming. But then I hear this random other weird crap in the background because the dudes next door are working on something. They have all these drills and saws and everything else in the back. It is non-freaking stop. Let's see. Lillian says, it's always nice to get to have time in a new place before moving your stuff energy, and I like to feel all the energies that are already there. Yeah, for sure. There's definitely new spaces are always so interesting to me, especially older spaces. This building I'm in now was built in the 1920s, and the building I'm moving into was built apparently even earlier than that, like the very early 1900s. And so I'm always like, the minute I'm in an old space, I always like feel like, ooh, cool. Like I always want to come in and be like, hi, apartment. What's up? Any lingering energies, like, kind of great. Like, I will take care of you. You take care of me. Here's what I'm hoping to accomplish here. Stuff like that. Also just kind of put the word out. I'm like, if there's any lingering actual ghost spirit things here, don't mess with me. I don't want to talk to you. I won't mess with your stuff. You don't mess with my stuff. Okay? Okay. Just put that out there pretty firmly. I also think it's like, I don't know, the whole idea of like greeting the space is it has its own energy and kind of merging your energy with it. Like it's almost like I wouldn't say a contract, but like a nice like meeting ground. A handshake of such to be like, hey, we're going to work together for a little bit. This will be fun. Like meeting a new team member. I found this random little like upholstery pin, and that's what I'm using. I'm literally just like, I'm not spending any more money. I've spent enough. I'm going to be spending more with this move. Hopefully not too much. And I really would just... anything like with Yule decorations, candles, anything of the such, I'm not doing. I spent money on a planner for 2020, and that is the extent of that. Not spending any more money. Which I guess I'll update you guys all of that with my depth year final update. Also, that's another thing I've kind of been considering. Would you guys be interested? Because some people ask me more of my mundane life questions, like how did I get to work at home? How is it just like moving across the country, living in Portland? No more things are like less to do with witchcraft, more just like just my life in general. So I thought I was like, oh, well, every time I get one of those questions, I might do like a little mini look in with like a little series called like the mundane side of things. Because I think that's important so many times. There's one thing that really kind of gets on my nerves when I see comments on my channel or other people's channels when people talk about like, oh, you're not but you're doing this, whether it's like because I forgot a to-go cup and so I had a paper cut from a cafe, so I'm not a good earthy witch because I'm not thinking of the planet in that exact moment when I got my to-go coffee, or I don't do this thing every single day, or because I show a more mundane part of my life, right? And it's like, listen, I wish I had the ability and the opportunity to like have every single aspect of my life be filled of amazing magical witchiness, but I just don't. I got a job. I have bills to pay. I've got friends who are non-witchy or even spiritual who kind of look at the whole thing and go, yeah, good for you. Have fun. It's great that you believe in that stuff. It makes your life better. But I think it's all hooey. And I value their friendship just as much. And I talk to people all the time and have to deal with the rest of the mundane world just like we all do. And I always find it so interesting when someone's like, oh, because you talked about your coffee in a video. Oh, yeah, you think you're so witchy, huh? And I was like, well, coffee isn't inherently witchy. No, coffee is just the thing I need every damn morning to feel good about my life. That's just a staple whether I was a witch or not. It's just there. I can make it witchy. You know, I scry with coffee from time to time, but like you commenting on a small little mundane thing. It's funny too, because like I see it on my videos and I kind of laugh about it, and then I will re-see a comment like that on someone else's videos, and I'll be like, oh. And part of me wants to like jump on in the comments and be like, stop it, stop being rude. Why are you judging a person because they got one little mundane thing they're showing you? Like, what's your issue? Why do you expect to know everything about their life because you saw one little bit in the video? Then I'm like, nothing gets solved in the comments and that type of thing anyway. Someone who's commenting that is probably not open to discussion. Oh, I just keep fraying these threads and it's just getting worse, and we're just going to accept it because that's where we are in this part of the year. I'm at the part of the year where I am just accepting the weirdness that is coming my way. I don't got patience for anything else or the tolerance to get all that upset. Let's see. Peggy's mentioned, this is my first Yule. I'm pretty excited. How are you doing tonight? No, spending time in an empty space sounds like a great idea. Yeah, I hope so. It's funny because one of my friends is really dear to me, not religious in any or spiritual way, but she kind of has grown up with the American cultural Christmas thing. I think she would consider herself an like staunch atheist. Staunch, like hardcore to it, like not open to anything, right? But she loves that cultural Christmas stuff, and she's so funny because her boyfriend is Jewish, and he's very much all about his Jewish faith. And she's just like, I want to have like random weird Christmas stuff around. And so when she found out that how many things from the Christian Christmas that we celebrate in America really come from paganism, and how many of the things that I still kind of do, putting up a little tree, putting up some garland, watching some videos, making handmade ornaments kind of thing for a tree, a lot of baking, making a Yule log, whatever, what have you. She's like really wants me to go do like quote unquote, I guess, more commercially Christmas stuff with her. So that'll be, I guess I'm kind of doing that for Yule as well. We're going to find some time to do that together. Whether like find a little like crafts fair or just like bake something that's really festive together or something like that. Which is hilarious to me because she's just like, well, you do the things too. And I don't want them to like need anything spiritually. I just want to do the thing because it's fun. My boyfriend won't do it with me. Because he's very adverse to anything outside of anything that he sees is like kind of against his traditions in some sense. He has no problem if anyone else does it, but he's not going to participate. Like, I was very happy I got him to carve a pumpkin near Samhain. I was like, yeah. And then he got out a drill. He got fancy with this pumpkin. It was kind of annoying. I was like, mine just looks like a standard jack-o'-lantern. Why you gotta make it fancy, huh? All right, sigil time. I don't know. What do I want to do? I think each sigil I'll have one represent, I guess, hope, because there's been a couple times where I feel like a little like defeated this year. So that'll be something nice to bring into the new year. I think I also want to bring in romance, because that's always nice. Abundance. We'll do that one for romance. It will start with the first letter of each of those words. We'll do hope, romance, abundance. What else? What else? What else? What else? Inspiration. That's always a great one. Drive. Oh, and my word for the year. Oh my goodness, I've already forgotten my word for the year. What was it? I wrote it down. This is what I'm dealing with sick brain. I'm not doing the best. Oh, what was it? Aware. Haha. A for aware. Being aware. All right. That's where I'm kind of starting with all of these. Just the first letter, and then I'm going to start designing as I kind of like just think on that. So hope. I know. Have you guys ever think about this where you think about a certain topic and you'll do spells around it? They won't work out. Or you'll be really focused on a certain thing that you really, really want, and it just doesn't really seem to come to fruition. And you just start losing hope that it's actually going to happen for you for a bit. You're like, I really want that job, or I really want to meet that person, or I really wanted to like have that awesome friend, or I really wanted to have that connection with this spiritual thing, and I just don't have it. And you just seem to lose hope for a little bit. And having a day like that is one thing. When it kind of reoccurs and pops in a lot, that it kind of got to me a little bit this year. I might make a full video on that later once I kind of journal about it, really get my thoughts out. But it was just one of those things where I had a hard time kind of reminding myself that no, it's going to come back around. Just because something isn't here yet, just because it's still a struggle, doesn't mean that it's a foregone conclusion that's not supposed to be part of your life. So I started with H, and we ended up with this. So that'll be my little hope sigil for today. All right, and then we'll do the abundance one next. I'm just putting the money sign right on top of that because let's be for realsies. When I mean abundance, I'm meaning money. For sometimes I think it's so funny because sometimes when I first started doing sigils, I was a little concerned. I was like, oh, it can't be anything like obvious, like a moon or whatever, like, right? The money symbol. It's got to be something that's very witchy, very occult of this particular thing. And if that's not it, it's not a real sigil. It's like, no, it's like whatever you put the power into. And it's fun too, because sometimes I just do this. I just kind of randomly will think of an idea and draw a sigil, and I won't think the power is in it yet. When I bless it at the altar later, then the power is in it. And I do that a lot with a lot of stuff, because I don't really, I don't know, I get in like creative modes, and like I feel like my creative mode and my like spiritual mode, they can kind of overlap, but they're two very separate things. They're not necessarily, I don't know, of the same mode. They can be. I can do a spiritually creative thing. But sometimes I'm like, no, this is creative mode. And then we bless it and enhance it spiritually. Sometimes the symbols are very obvious. And sometimes they are way more abstract. And I kind of like the idea of them being more abstract, like no one would really ever understand what they were except for me, like my own little secret language. Something about that really ends up kind of getting me what I want. Now, this is my aware sigil, and that just kind of looks like a creepy face, but we're going with it. I'm going with it. I don't know, I've been leaning more and more into the more people I find who are really doing well in life, who are, meeting challenges and having a great time and, making forward steps in ways that I don't think they even thought was possible. And I'm so happy I'm seeing it for them, like really good friends of mine, just doing so damn well, getting the things they really want. Or family members of mine, like really seeing and recognizing how much people care about them or making great strides. The more I realize how customizable and how happiness is such a different thing for every single person. Like it doesn't have to necessarily make sense to me for it to work out well for them, right? Like sometimes I just have to look and go, oh, that worked out so well for them. Look how happy they are. Look how not stressed they are. Look how well that's doing. I think that's one of the things I really want to invite into this year as Yule comes around. Maybe something I'll invoke as I go into my new space is inviting in happiness in whatever way the universe sees best for me, even if it's something that I can't even necessarily comprehend at the moment, right? Because how many times have we gotten in our own way? How many times do we not see when something could be really beneficial for us? You know? How many times do we decide that something has to be a certain way? And we don't necessarily really are ever open to the fact that maybe if we just let go of this little thing over there, something even more amazing could come up. Because we're so hard on the fact that, well, no, it has to happen this way because it's not realistic for it to happen any other way. I definitely get that way with like romance and stuff. Sometimes I have to remind myself that maybe that storybook way of meeting somebody or that honest, genuine communication can actually happen. That's not all struggle and suffering and feeling like you're never good enough or anything else like that. Sometimes it's just, an instant, honest connection of chemistry. That does exist. I've seen it happen with other people. They're like, I can't explain it to you. It's just like chemistry-wise, we worked. All right, so here are my little sigil ornaments. We've got, this was romance. It's now turned into that mess. We've got drive. Aware. This very creepy little face thing going on there. Hope. Inspiration. And abundance. Voila. Along with a little dingly danglies. So I've been on for 47 minutes because apparently I never know when to shush. So let's see. Is there any other comments coming through? You guys, any last minute questions you want to ask before I pop on off here? Let's see. That's cool. You have someone to do that with, LOL, and that she has you. I love the shopping, but it drains me so much. Oh goodness, the shopping. The depth years put a halt on my shopping, which I'm like kind of happy about, kind of not. Let's see. Hey, you're from Australia. I love your videos. Can't believe I caught the end. We'll rewatch. Yay, please do. I hope this was fun for y'all, all festive, and you pop on. I hope you have a great Yule. I am probably going to be on hiatus of actual normal videos for probably at least, it might not be to the new year, quite honestly, just with how my move is going to go and the traveling I'm going to have to do and work. My day job is just, it's going to be a chaotic mess. I'll see if I can get another video up. If not, I'll try to pop on here live again randomly. So I guess just have your little notification bell on because I never schedule these. I just pop on when I feel like it and just feel like talking. So I hope you guys have a very blessed Yule if you celebrate, or any other lovely holiday that you take in, whether it be Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, what have you. And if I don't see you before then, a very happy New Year as well. Bye-bye.